Puppy lovers, pussy lovers, animal lovers, unite.
Leave your premonitions at the door. Friends, lovers. What are we talking about? Are we doing The Office again?
No. I wanted to discuss. You got an animal recently in your home that's not Frank, right?
You convinced me. I told you multiple times on our road trip that I did not want to get a dog.
Did I convince you that, or did Frank convince you that?
Frank was an absolute menace to society.
Yeah.
And I couldn't deal with it. And honestly, I don't know how you drove across the country with a dog in your car.
Yeah, 13,000 miles, 8 weeks. That was a lot, especially for a dog that doesn't like really being in the car all that much.
Or a dog that listens, for that matter. And so...
Well, he listened when we weren't in the car.
He listened occasionally. But I knew I didn't want a dog. But I always felt the universe was going to give me a dog. I always thought if it was going to happen, it would be a dog would show up at my door and be in a little bassinet. And
like
I would
Moses.
open the door. And it would have a note that said, "This is yours. I have to flee the country."
Well, you didn't get that right, but you got the next best thing.
So it was a Wednesday, the end of July, the last week of July. I saw this dog just scrambling through the hood here in Glendale, the barrio, because my neighbors now called it a barrio dog, and it absolutely is. But it would look disheveled, and it was muddy and dirty, but it looked like it needed water. So I put a bucket out, and I tried to convince it that I was a nice person and that water was good for it. The dog basically told me to go fuck myself, which is fine. I understand that there's going to be trust issues.
Yeah, this is the usual response that you're used to, right?
Well, most loose dogs, they want nothing to do with you. Have you ever tried to corral a loose dog?
Is it similar to a Res Mutt?
I forgot about our Res Mutts there briefly.
Yeah, how could you forget that? That is definitely going to get some run in this episode.
So we're talking pandemic puppies, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I got my dog, I guess, during the pandemic.
How long have you had Frank?
6 months.
Okay. So yeah, technically he's a pandemic puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Saki is also a pandemic puppy.
Ooh. Have you found out what kind of breed she is? I know that's difficult given the circumstances for how she arrived.
So a gentleman in the neighborhood, as I was walking her the other day, pulled up in a big red truck, lifted because I think he had a small penis. And he proceeds to roll his window down and he says, "Nice pit. I used to have a red-nosed pit myself. It looks like she has some boxer." That's been the overwhelming consensus. He also proceeded to tell me that she's in heat and that I need to get her spayed. And so I thought this was fascinating that people are now stopping on the road to compliment my dog and me. Somehow
Yeah.
like I participated in the genetic process.
Well, yeah, that's why I got Frank.
What did I didn't friggin' have sex with another dog and produce this animal. Like, I don't know. So this is what I got to get used to, is this culture. And so all I know is that the last day I actually got a chance to sleep in was that Thursday at the end of the July. So it's been almost 1 month now. So, August.
Yeah, I was going to say, July was 2 months ago, bro. Where you at?
Holy crap. Has it been longer? No.
Yeah, I don't recall this dog being around when Frank was there.
No, you're right. Okay, so I got this all wrong. This was the month of August, the end of August.
Yeah.
So it's Thursday, August 27th, a day that will live in infamy. And my mailman comes banging on my door, and I'm working remotely from my bed, relaxing, because I can work on my phone. It's fantastic. And he's like, "I don't want to alarm you, but there is a dog on your futon in front of your house. The same futon you and I moved outside because..." Did you break it? Like, I don't know, or...
You told me it was broken when I got on it. Well, after the fact. You told me that you knew it was broken when I used it, you bastard.
I still believe in versatile furniture, and the futon again has lured in another bitch. But
Somehow,
that
we thought it was done. That futon had one more trick up its sleeve.
I'm appreciative of my friend Chantel. She actually is the one who gifted me all this stuff at a very reasonable rate, and I just temporary furniture. I don't want to invest. Like, what do I'm never here, but now I'm living here in this pandemic, and so now I have a puppy. But she was a sweetie from the start. She ate out of my hand. She let me bathe her. So then once I bathed her, she was clean. She could come into the home. Because you got to remember, some cultures don't allow the dog to come in the home. Whereas we allow them not only to come into the home, they get to come into the bed. Shit, sometimes they take over the whole bed. They're licking their ass, and then they turn around and lick you. And we accept this.
Does she sleep in bed with you?
Initially, I put a comforter down in the bedroom, but I did not want to repeat what I had with my dog prior. So I had a pit bull many years ago, and he got himself into the bed, and it became such a normal thing. And I swore I would never do this again. And so I've held to it. So the only thing where I've broken is she comes in at between 6 and 7 a.m. every morning, and she crawls into bed with me.
It's going to be more and more.
Well, I try to say no, but I'm so weak and tired that I don't have the energy to scream.
She knows. She's taking advantage of you.
I closed the door the other day as an experiment, and she was like, nope, fuck that. And she started banging down that thing. Like,
oh, yeah. I know how that goes. Frank starts whining, and he knows how to get my attention by shaking, so he'll just paw at the door. So I hear his paw just scratching at the door, and then I hear him doing the whole...
It's a very good impression. Sounds just like him.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But they also do that whiny thing, too.
How did you get Frank?
I got him at the shelter. We went down probably a week beforehand, and we were looking at dogs. And I remember there was this one that was jumping up and down a lot. And I remember telling Zach specifically I probably wasn't going to be getting that one. And none of them really jumped out to me. So I stayed active on the shelter's website until I saw one that I wanted to go look at in particular.
Okay.
Until one day, a picture of a dog, a boxer Rhodesian Ridgeback mix named Tank, was the featured pet.
And it wasn't that mini kangaroo that you denied a couple days prior, was it?
Turns out it was. So I go down to meet Tank, and he's all over the place. He listens well, but you can tell he's just completely a loose cannon. He's full of just so much energy. He's happy to see anybody that he can see. That's why he's jumping around. He's all excited, tails wagging all over the place. This is the happiest dog I've ever seen. He's so pretty, and he's going to be mine. So I told them that I'd be back later that day. Filled out the application, went to pick him up, and it turns out another volunteer that wasn't there earlier in the day let another couple see him, and they were looking at him as I showed up, and they wanted him.
Ooh, competition.
Yeah, but I'd already beat him to the punch. So
so it wasn't like paper, rock, scissors or anything?
No. So luckily I got him. They were a little disappointed. And they said if anything didn't work out, let them know. But as you can see, yeah, everything's worked out pretty well.
Has it, though?
No. There were some rough patches, I'll tell you. There's been some learning curves. I'll tell you, the first month or two, he ate his fair share of electronics.
Didn't he destroy your headphones recently?
Yeah, he did that too. That wasn't as intentional as the other electronics he destroyed. So when I first got him, he ate like my remote controls, my Xbox controller, the headset for that, all sorts of stuff. I was pretty pissed at him for that. So that led to him getting a crate for when I was gone during the day.
Yeah.
I would stop by during my lunch and let him out and feed him and everything, but yeah. So now that I've been home a lot more, that's been nice for him. He doesn't have to spend as much time in there, but he's comfortable going in there when I'm not around.
His crate. He'll just go sit in the crate.
Yeah. Yeah, he's comfortable in there.
They need to get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's their dojo. That's their home.
Yeah, he's pretty cozy in there, and he's got enough space. But the headphones he destroyed recently are from his routine that he likes to do when people show up at the house. So he'll go to the side window as they're walking up the driveway, and then he'll sprint to the back door. And when he sprinted to the back door, he got all tangled up in the wires for the studio and almost ripped all the microphones and everything apart, but he just the headphones were destroyed, luckily. So I got new ones, as you can see.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most of what he's destroyed. I'm trying to think. There's probably some other things that I'm not thinking off the top of my head, but those are the most prevalent things he's destroyed were those electronics. So stupid me, I guess. Right?
Right. Well, I've lost 2 carpets. I don't know if you remember the 2 carpets that I had in my house.
Yeah, the one you told me to take.
Take any carpet you want.
Yeah, you told me to take any carpet I own in the house.
Can we say the China dog peed on my rug? Is that appropriate?
Please. Asian American.
That's right. Dude.
I watched that not too long ago. We'll save that for another podcast, though.
We will. Yeah. I think anytime the Big Lebowski can be invoked, it's always a good time.
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to rugs.
Yeah. Frank has had his fair share of incidents. He's good in the house.
Have carpet?
Yeah, unfortunately. Obviously not in the kitchen and stuff like that. So he's pretty good now, it seems like, when he's going to have an accident or I'm not up early enough or whatever to let him out of the house. That only happened once. But he seems to be drawn to going in the kitchen now. He knows. But he did have a few accidents on the carpet. And I've had to do my fair share of scrubbing and using OxyClean and whatnot. The one shit he had recently was just, oh my goodness. Oh my God. Well, I have 2 now that are just particularly traumatizing. There was the one that he did in the kitchen, but it was just so fucking big. It was so massive. Like it invoked memories of Jurassic Park when they're digging in the shit pile there. You know, that's what I was dealing with.
Was that a Triceratops? I forget.
Well, in this case, it was a fucking dog, but Jesus Christ, it might as well have been. And then another one, he just diarrheaed all over the fucking carpet in my bedroom, and I was just so disappointed. It was just so... Oh, I felt like they scrubbed it into the fibers more. Like in the office. Yeah, it was traumatizing.
Like Kevin spilling the chili.
I cannot wait until we get to that episode because that is the best opening segment in the series by far. Because he tries to scoop it back in.
And I would eat like I believe in the 10-second. Even the 60-second rule.
But it's chili. It's similar to when he tries. It's similar to when he tries to put the turtle back together. Oh my God!
I wonder how many times they had to shoot that. Right?
Jesus Christ! Yeah.
How many suits?
Have you ever?
But yes,
owned a turtle or any sort of aquatic animal?
No, but my air conditioning broke, and my AC repairman told me that that's like his side hustle. He sells turtles.
I wonder what kind of turtles you can get out of him.
I could probably get one for free, I think. I don't know. He's going elk hunting soon. He got drawn, and I need to reach out to him because if he bags any, I want the organs. I want the elk organs.
Why?
I want the liver. I want the heart. I want the spleen. I want some of the bones because I am going for the perfectly raw diet. I had trouble with my last dog with allergies, and a lot of the dog food that's out in the market contains a lot of grain.
Corn, this is for the dog.
Yeah. Yep. So
I thought you were into some cult shit.
no, but anytime you go to like an ethnic market, there's the Asian market by my house next to the Exxon Mobil that you like.
Yeah.
Or the Chevron or the Exxon, what is it?
It was the Chevron.
Yeah, they'll be happy to see you here in a couple days.
Oh, yeah. I hope my boy's still there.
Yeah.
He'll know.
So I went to the Asian market tonight and I bought a pork heart, a beef liver, chicken feet, and some chicken gizzards as well. And also just some raw fish. I'm gonna try. She's still gonna get some.
You know it's more profitable to be the leader of the cult, right? Not a follower.
But it's good for everything, right? And so there's B vitamins, A vitamins, calcium, all that stuff. So they need that. And so nature provides. They're carnivorous animals. Like they're not meant to eat kibbles and bits. I firmly believe this. And so it's going to be a lot. But honestly, chicken feet were only like the most expensive thing. Those were like $4 for a lot of chicken feet. And she crushed it. She absolutely loved it. So you'll see that when you're here. You're going to see this raw diet. And like I said, if I can get some like 30 pounds of organs, of rabbit, quail, and duck organs, I'm in. So.
Well, that's good. Good for Saki.
Yeah, so she's going to get, like prior to that, I was just cooking her straight crock pots. Wasn't necessarily raw, but she was definitely eating good. But it was cooked meat. And so I want to go more raw. And so we're adjusting. I'm going to keep actually, she threw up an apple the other day. Apparently, dogs can't eat the skin off of an apple, and I didn't know that. And so it's not even so much that they can't eat pitted fruits and vegetables. It's that people are irresponsible and give their animal the entire fruit where they'll eat the pit. And so you can give them a peach without the pit and the skin, and they can eat that, And so
So I give Frank like apple slices. After I eat the apple, I'll like cut out the little bits kind of near the top and bottom of the core that you don't eat.
Right.
So he doesn't really get too much of the skins, and I'm glad that you pointed that out because that's something that I didn't know. I knew that they could eat apples, but I didn't know in particular that the skin wasn't great for them.
She threw it all up on Sunday. We were watching football, and all of a sudden the dog just puked. And it was just the apples from breakfast.
Nice.
Everything else went down except the apples.
Frank hasn't puked lately, and again, he seems to know that that's not something that we like to do on the carpet now, because last time he did it in the bathroom and in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And he seemed to be fine with me coaxing him that way. I was like, nope, we go out here and do that. He was like, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, when you were talking about Frank crapping all over your kitchen and your carpet, that the amount, I've been cleaning a lot more now. And I can't honestly say my house is cleaner. But I feel like I clean every single day, but yet my house still feels messy.
Oh, I got you beat. You should see my basement with I have 2 cats as well. 2 black cats. Yes. And the one's kind of a medium long hair. Just so much fluff everywhere. I feel like there's little black tumbleweeds just rolling around in the basement every time I go down there.
What's what's the name of the cats?
Ooh. We've got the OG, Mr. Wayne.
Yes. Wayne. I love Wayne.
Wayne is the
Wayne
best.
I met.
Yes.
Big Wayne, not little Wayne.
Yeah, he's Big Wayne now. Yeah, and the little one, the little fluffy one, is Kiki.
Keekers. Okay.
No, Kiki.
Keekers, though, comes out naturally. Whenever I hear Kiki, I don't want to do the Drake thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say, Kiki, do you love me?
Everybody else does, and you just got to accept that it's part of her thing now, okay?
Okay.
She's Kiki. Okay. She's not Keekers. Her name was hotly debated for several months, and we settled on this, so you're not going to hijack it with something else.
Well, you did with Tank. You moved it to Frank.
Yes.
But don't you have Fanana Fana Faux Frank? Or, I don't know if you're into the whole brevity thing. I'm not sure.
Well,
Frank Areno?
Yeah, he's Frank the Tank. I'll call him
Frank the Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Frank the Tank.
He's Delano as well.
Like Frank Delano?
Yeah, as in Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Jeez, what a troglodyte that man is.
Let's not even
And
discuss it.
no, let's not interrupt each other. Let's actually just have a civil dialogue.
Correct. About dogs.
Right.
Everybody else knows what a shit show that was.
You can run on a platform of just like, I like puppies, right? And it's just like, okay, I'll vote for that guy.
I don't know why anybody hasn't tried it.
I know that, honestly, just me with the puppy photo, or just because I got a great shot of me at the Oso, little outdoor brewery here in Arizona. My buddy snapped it because dogs are welcome. My God. I am now getting more likes on Tinder, Bumble, all the websites. I've gotten some dates out of this. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. Frank's big for that.
This is it? Is that what it is, ladies? That I'm not attractive unless I have an animal next to me? What the hell is that?
One could argue that my whole road trip was influenced by Frank.
I believe Frank got you laid.
Which then turned around into the whole story that we got about me going on the road trip.
It all comes back.
Yep. It all comes full circle, baby.
That's why we're doing the pandemic puppy episode. I actually want Frank and Sake to meet.
We can arrange that someday.
Pet nicknames. So when I get mad at her, she is either the Sake Monster or Sake Bomber is more for fun.
Oh my God, I like it.
Yeah. Or Sock Monster, like sock, sometimes comes out. Depends,
Yeah.
But yeah.
When I yell at Frank, it is Franklin.
Franklin.
Yeah, I get
You
formal
don't
with him.
call him like not his first whole name. Like you don't go Franklin, Delano.
Oh, sometimes I give it to him. Franklin Delano.
Did Frank take your last name? I haven't decided if I'm going to give Saki my last name yet.
No, I think Frank is a gypsy.
Okay.
I don't think he has a last name.
Stevie Nicks would be proud.
Yeah. So what other fun stories do you have so far?
Well, she went into heat, and as a result, she bleeds, and I didn't know that, right? Like, I didn't know that dogs had, like, a menstrual cycle. And so this was new for me. So
I'm just so disappointed that the American education system failed him so poorly.
You know, sex ed as a whole was a big disappointment. I learned more from pornography, obviously, but nowhere did I ever see anything about female dog genitalia. Like,
They didn't cover that in your sex ed class?
biology didn't cover it. I think they just went straight to rabbits, and it was all a blur from there because it was like, those things fuck. Apparently turtles fuck just as much as rabbits.
That's what I was going to say. I want to talk to your turtle guy and see if I can get my hands on a tortoise.
We could probably arrange that. Yeah, I could because I got to reach out to him anyway for the elk organs.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Might be coming back with a tortoise. Cool.
What I've been really impressed on is that just within my circle, and I think this is where we can knock social media because the Russians have taken over it to just divide us in this country and keep Trump in power. But social media can be a useful tool within my community when I reach out to them and say, hey, I just got this dog. Does anybody have any extra supplies? And people responded. So people responded with dog bowls. My friend gave me a kennel, right? And so I was giving all these dog toys. So
kennels are expensive.
So Hal Herzog is a gentleman who writes about, is a psychologist, but he writes on animals, but he's quoted as saying it's $10,000 per animal is what people will spend. And that's just like an additional accessories, probably medical. I mean, it really starts to add up. And so I've been, this raw diet alone is going to be interesting.
I encountered a gentleman on this trip who told me that he got a roughly $700 estimate for a car repair that he ended up passing on. But when he got a similar bill from the vet for his dog, paid it without hesitation.
So this is an investment. Like ultimately, animals are an investment, and typically it comes back to status and class. People who can afford to have animals do. People who cannot, like the people in my neighborhood, let their dog loose and just give up because these folks, I put this dog's picture everywhere on the internet through the county out here, and nobody wanted to claim it. But I did find a dog that looked like Saki, and they had a phone number. When I reached out, they were like, "Oh, I'm not the owner. I just put this up on behalf of the owner. And this person has mental issues and was in jail and unfortunately can no longer take care of this dog. So if you can help us find a good home for them, that would be really appreciated." And so there it is. That's how I obtained it. I said, I'm going to keep this dog.
Okay.
And she's been great. She's been great around my family, and she's great around other dogs, although she got attacked recently at our favorite coffee shop, which I'm not going to shout out to them on this one. We'll just say our favorite coffee shop in Glendale.
Oh, wow.
But honestly, I'm not vindictive like that. And so dogs will be dogs.
Yeah.
Right. And so when dogs get into a fight, honestly, after they got into a little scruffle, the owner then quickly took the dog out of the environment, the coffee shop, and said, "Let's go walking." And then we proceeded to walk a few blocks together in control, on leashes, commands invoked, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah.
That's my experience. Yeah. They get real excited, and then once they get to chill out with one another, they seem to just enjoy the company.
I just appreciate businesses who allow animals in.
Yeah.
And so animals first, they come, they're like, before they even bring you water, they bring the dog water. And it's like, hell yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah, we experienced some of that on our trip back.
Which again, blew my mind because, just the stops, it just felt inconvenient to have the animal. And that's what I'm struggling with now, is that my life now, everything is the dog first, me second.
Oh, it's like being a parent almost, huh?
I spent, instead of doing my job, I've been spending more time like preparing food, because again, I'm cooking my dog potatoes and carrots and yams, and I'm slow cooking this and adding it as amendments.
Yeah, it's like having a kid, taking care of it.
Yeah. Why are we doing this?
So that we can tell stories about like when we were on the trip and got attacked by the Res Mutts.
The Res Mutts. I think that story's worth telling again, because I think it'll change a little bit each time. You know what I mean?
It'll be interesting to revisit it over the years and see how much that we have embellished it more and more. But we were coming from Utah during our road trip back from Moab, and we were going through the Navajo Reservation, which was under lockdown due to the virus.
And there was a strict lockdown, and I believe everything shut down at 7 p.m.?
Yes, that's accurate. And that included places like gas stations and things of that nature. And
it was past 7 p.m.
Yes, it was. And we were in search of gas. And we were, 95 miles from Flagstaff or something?
Yes.
And
Flagstaff was the closest.
Yes. And I remember you asked me how far we could go. How much was left in the tank? And I looked and it said about 73 miles. And I looked back at you and said, "We'll make it." And I've done this with other people too. Just blind confidence that we're going to make it way past what the car says is available. And
And the only reason we thought we had to make it to Flagstaff is because all the gas stations that we were stopping at along the way were all closed.
That's right. We stopped at several that looked open, even for
still had the lights on.
Yeah, and looked like you could pay at the pump. And other people were doing the same thing. They were rolling up and getting denied.
It felt good to know that we weren't the only ones that were.
It's always nice when it's nice to know that you're struggling with other people too.
We should have just filled up in goddamn Cayenta and just paid the extra at the 7. I remember I was ready to whip. I should have just got out and paid and filled up the tank while you were in there screwing around grabbing a soda.
But then we wouldn't have had this great encounter that we're about to share with our listeners.
This is true.
So fast forward to a gas station in Tuba City.
Ah, gosh. I want to say Tonalea, maybe Tuskegee. Like I'm looking at the map and I'm like, where the hell were we?
Oh yeah, we ended up making it to Tuba City and filling up there, correct?
That sounds correct, right? Yes.
But prior to that, we had one more gas station to stop at.
I remember I was just so happy that we got gas that I just like consumed gas station goods that I normally would never buy. I think I bought like Fanta sodas, right? Some root beers, wasabi peas.
But prior to that,
So we're pulling into some gas station. It looked pretty abandoned, but there were two guys there, and it looked like they were possibly getting gas, so we thought we were good.
but again, we got denied.
There was a big wall that seemed to separate a part of the...
Yeah, it looked almost like a car wash or something, like, you know, like normal.
Yeah.
Like gas stations have a car wash or something, but it I don't recall there being a car wash there.
No car wash.
Yeah, it was just like the wall. Yeah, it was odd, but go on.
And so it separated us and the pumps and some desert and the desert land. And I don't remember. Maybe I saw a dog or two. I didn't remember the gang of dogs that was hiding behind that wall.
Yeah. Oh no, there was just one or two, and then Frank caught a glimpse of them, and that was it. He went nuts. At first, I thought he was barking at the guys, and I'm like, "Oh, this again." Here we go. We're gonna get into another fight.
We thought he was racist, right? And it's like, don't bark at the brown men. They've already suffered enough.
Yeah, but it turns out it's these dogs. And then once the dogs caught wind of him, that was it. They called up their compadres on the other side of that wall, and it was over. It was fucking over. Within moments, they swarmed the car,
We were surrounded.
and we couldn't escape. That was the most shocking thing to me. They jumped in front of the car, and every time I would go to accelerate, even just a little bit, they would jump back in front of the car. It's like they were trying to collect an insurance payment or something.
They had done this before.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, this was a setup. I knew it.
No, they wanted us to get out of the car, and then they would attack us. For sure.
They would jump us. They'd take our wallets. Or they just wanted to jump Frank into their gang.
That's it.
It was, I don't know. It was one or the other. But we had to get out of there. When I say they swarmed the fucking car, like they were jumping up on the sides of the car, and they continued to swarm the car until we were out on the state route. They were still around the car on the state route. So, like, if I was worried another car was going to come in either direction, going 55 plus, while I have this swarm of dogs around the fucking car. That's what I was really worried about. I wasn't worried about hitting a dog. I was worried about someone coming along to this fucking scene and not knowing what the fuck to do.
It was State Route 160, and I think the speed limit was easily 55 and over, and they were still coming after us.
Yeah.
They were...
It was fucking out of control. And it wasn't our first encounter with Res Mutts either. I'm so glad that they reminded us of our trip to the Grand Canyon when you had the same reaction. You just froze up.
They're vicious they're half wolf. Like these are not domesticated animals.
And yet we have their cousins sleeping in bed with us.
They're wild dogs. Well, this one is domesticated, or at least appears domesticated.
Uh-huh. All right.
She would be killed, this dog.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Frank would have done with the Res Mutts. I feel like
honestly, it wouldn't have been fair.
Well, he might have gotten jumped in, and if we went back to revisit him, maybe at this point he might, have a bandana or something like that.
Yeah, we would have had a purple bandana.
Yeah, a purple
Prison
bandana.
Mike. We would have had to set it up one-on-one. Okay, your best person against Frank, and just all right, nobody else jump in. Because if they jump in, then we have to jump in, and it just
I don't want to get involved. Yeah, I would have had to bring out the bat light at that point. And Frank was pretty slim at that point too.
Still, Frank slim with the tilted rim. No, those dogs, the first time from the Grand Canyon, to be fair, they were just eating people's mush off their tires. They were just going around to vehicles and just eating the undercarriage. And that alone just gave me pause. I couldn't help but stare. So.
You were just waiting until they walked over to your car.
Well, I didn't trust them. I did not trust them.
Were you doing some profiling?
It's again, fight or flight. And
you were ready to fly the fuck out of there. Yeah. so when the Res Mutts attacked you and I in this most recent encounter, I vividly recall while I'm driving and trying to escape all this mayhem going, get your phone, get your phone, get your phone. And you were just frozen. Just completely.
I had nothing. I was
You were not enjoying, any of that.
No, I don't know why I was saying enjoy. Like, you were just running over animals.
I did not run over a single animal. Let us be clear.
Easily. You ran over several that day.
No, I did not. Oh my God.
I've never seen dogs jump in front of cars like that, in front of tires, and like get in the way and like.
Yeah, they were ruthless.
I'm pretty sure one of them had their leg run over at some point. And so I saw it.
Well, if you had a video recording, maybe you'd have the evidence to back that claim up.
I would have dropped the phone out of the car, and then we had to go back and get the fucking thing.
The ruthlessness reminds me of the one time that Frank broke out of the backyard and chased these two kids. All he wanted to do was just lick them to death. But the one kid was terrified and ran up on our neighbor's porch. And when the neighbor came out to investigate what was going on, Frank just let himself inside their house. Ruthless. Just went up to the second floor. Probably hopped in their bed. I was like, what the fuck? You can't just run into people's houses like that, dude. We ended up getting him out very quickly, but that's one hell of a way to meet the neighbors.
For sure. And that's what this dog has been doing, is because now I walk the dog several times a day.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to know Jerry with his hound dog, Leroy.
Ooh.
I've gotten to know Brendel, who's across the street, escaping the wildfires. He pulled up in his mobile home, and they've just been having a yard sale since they got here. It's been weeks. So hopefully you'll get to see that when you get over here. There's a lot of great shit in there.
All right.
I got some Joe Camel koozies. But they have a dog called Patches, and Patches and Saki get along great, although Patches just licks her vagina obsessively, and we all just kind of watch and just like let it happen, and everybody seems normal. Like, I don't know, whatever.
She's enjoying herself. If you could, you would.
All the boy dogs that aren't fixed have tried to sleep with her, and she doesn't require anybody to buy her dinner or anything. She's just willing to let it happen.
Oh, yeah.
Mark's dog across the street, he's got some type of shepherd mix. They finally made friends, and we let him run free in the backyard in his place.
Nice.
And then he tried to hump her. Yeah, and then he tried to hump her, and we had to cut that off. So ever since then, I've been... Until I get her
avoiding
fixed,
Mark's place, huh?
Play dates. Yeah.
That was my next question, was were you going to get her fixed?
There's spay neuter clinics here in Arizona that are inexpensive, and there are some times where they offer it free for pit bulls.
Gotcha.
And so I found a place like $120, but the next available appointment is in December.
Ooh.
So if I take her to like a veterinarian, I could probably have it done tomorrow. But I think if they're in heat, like in that cycle, it's more expensive. So we're talking about $100 at this point, right?
Yeah.
So that's the difference between this. So it's like, do I wait a couple of months and just go for the cheaper doctor and save $100, or do I spend the extra $100, right? So
yeah. So when Saki has puppies, I'm gonna adopt one, and Frank will have a buddy.
Can dogs have abortions? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure. That's something you want to explore.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg wants to know. Okay, she died for that right.
Jesus Christ. So, rest in peace.
Yes. And then I'm getting this surgery in 2 weeks. So if I want to be able to be physically capable to take her to the vet where.
Yeah.
If something were to happen, like I have to lift her up, like I can't. So December is probably going to be best for me. unless I do it here in the next 2 weeks while you guys are here to help me out with this process. So
Gotcha.
and even then, most vet clinics are booked for a few weeks out.
Yeah. So much for getting in tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could call around multiple vets, but again, she's not breaking out. Although my fence guy, he took down the neighbor's fence and he's trying to put up a concrete block wall, but that has not happened. So now they left it exposed and they never returned. So now the dog has access to the neighbor's yard. I suppose she could escape and get out there and go get some trim. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to do that.
Jesus.
So I'll just take my chances in the meanwhile. Worst case scenario, she has puppies, and then
I'm going to have to adopt one.
Present. Yeah. Then you have to bring one home.
Absolutely. No question
about it.
Can we
ship that? Like, how does that work?
No, we'll figure it out when we get there. Any other interesting stories in your first month of dog parenthood?
They say that dogs make you healthier. And honestly, I've been sleeping less, although I've been more physically active. And I've definitely been more tired later in the evening. But I don't know. It's indifferent. The research is like 50-50 that people with dogs don't necessarily live longer, but it's a temporary, like short term, the happiness is there, but long term doesn't provide the benefits. So
I definitely see the short term benefits. Frank sent me on this journey.
He did. And what dogs do is they almost humanize people, and they disarm people, right? Like otherwise I'm just a person walking down the street. Now I'm a person with a dog, and it's different. Now people are interested, and they want to socialize, they want to engage, and they want to interact. And I find that, just from my social science background, I find that the most fascinating thing is just how I'm now received and treated, especially with this online dating. Because like I said, I mean, I have a date tomorrow actually with someone, and it's
too easy.
Who rescues puppies. Yeah. It's so that's a thing apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, for anybody looking for dating, just throw a dog photo up.
I knew it the second I got Frank.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what I was doing.
Eddie Murphy used this in the movie Boomerang. It's one of Eddie Murphy's best, but he has the whole leash gimmick. And then when the girl comes over to his apartment, he's like, "Oh, he's at the groomers."
Jesus.
He doesn't have a dog. Yeah, so.
Yep, he knew about the appeal. It's been known for a while. And that's why we love him. And that's why I'm going to continue loving him, and that's why I'm going to be stupid enough to adopt one of my puppy nieces or nephews from you when you end up having one.
If she, right? And so I think even me, if worse comes to worse, like we've heard about the crazy cat lady, whatever stereotype,
oh, yeah.
I could see myself being the crazy dog person, right? And just like having a couple of dogs. Maybe get some of those turtles, right?
There you go. You have some tortoise and some puppies running around. It'd be great.
I mean, I have a lot of backyard, so.
Yeah, it'd be like a little zoo.
Now the whole landscaping backyard, like I got to figure out what I want to do now, because now the things have changed.
Yeah, so. You got to build in a turtle exhibit. Got to put a pond in. A little fountain.
Yeah. Something. But we have to go get our photo this time with that dog statue out on Glendale Avenue.
It's happening this time. This is the time.
This time we're making it happen.
You asked me about it the first time I was out there, maybe the second time, but we're finally getting around to it this time.
We're going to do it.
And I'm going to be there soon. I'm going to be there very soon.
So you're going to get to meet Saki Monster in person.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be assuming the responsibilities as well. So
I'll be there in a few days.
That's right. Am I picking you up from the airport?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will see you then. And until then, anybody listening may interact with us on social media by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. Or you may interact with us on Twitter at CTSTerry.
We want you to show us your kitties if you have any photos that you want to share. So, ladies, show us your kitties.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. Do with that what you will. And until then, keep trying to catch the sky.